Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. Today we're looking at a build of Aerodactyl. It's not really a new card from Unbroken Bonds, but Triple Acceleration really is one of these gateway kind of cards that lets you revisit some archetypes that maybe were under the power level to begin with. Now we get this new sort of option with the deck where we can really take advantage of Triple Acceleration. Aerodactyl does great damage output, and effectively now for one energy attachment, it's much more appealing. So we've got basically the shell of a Zapdos archetype here, and we're having Aerodactyl as our big sort of wall breaker, I guess you could put him as. He's trying to really just help you push over the line with his great Fossil Fangs attack, which does 90 plus 90 more if you have no GXs in play. So we're obviously an all non-GX build. 180 damage is very good. It gets even better with Choice Band and Shrine. That's going to help you get uptrades on GXs, which are in plenty of archetypes right now. And at the same time, we still have the same, like, usual strong shell of Zapdos to be good early pressure. Take those knockouts on Pokemon trying to evolve, maybe deal with Grimers and Dittos. That would be a great deal because we're still very much reliant on Stellar Wish. And at the same time, you know, we have the sort of late game push of an Aerodactyl rather than relying on Ultra Beasts, which on key turns you can A, like miss damage sometimes, and B, your opponent can play around this sometimes. They can play around Sledgehammer, play around Nihilego, and Aerodactyl is just more of a solid damage output that you can guarantee for yourself. So that's the entire concept of this list. Let's jump straight into it. First of all, for Jirachi, Stellar Wish is obviously a great deal as always, helping you get into supporter cards turn 1, as well as Ball Search, and of course Unidentified Fossil is something you can grab with Stellar Wish, which can guarantee ourselves essentially our fake basic for the Aerodactyl, which is obviously great for us. Then we're going to have a 3-2 line of Zebstrika. I really like the high count. I think we want to have a high Pokemon count for basics. Like, we're playing 4 Jirachi, 3 Blitzle, and 2 Zapdos. I think 3 Blitzle is better than 3 Zapdos because Zapdos is a hideous lead, whereas Blitzle's fine. And we really want to develop this Sprint Zebstrika if we can, giving us a bit of a safeguard against the low and Muck, of course, which is still played in Zoroark, and maybe a handful of other archetypes here and there. And we gain this sprint ability, which helps us dig deeper into our deck and make us a little bit more consistent, especially important when we're trying to find triple acceleration energies turn after turn, when we do sort of transition into that Aerodactyl and take big knockouts. So I really like the thick line of Zebstrika. I think it's very strong. 2 Zapdos, as I mentioned, it's not a great lead for you, so you only want a couple, and as mentioned, it's just early pressure. You're starting the race on turn 1 rather than on turn 2 when you're an Aerodactyl, so Zapdos can help you win out against non-GXs. Obviously, that's where Aerodactyl can be weaker, although he does have good enough damage output to knock out non-GXs. You only have 4 boost energies, so you need to rely on the Zapdos to Thunderous Assault through some lower hit point stuff when you can, initiate that race, maybe just stay ahead in the game the entire time. And in general, even against tag teams, this is really, really nice. If you can hit an 80 or a 110 on like a Reshizard and then go into your Aerodactyl, you can knock them out with Fossil Fangs. So definitely something to bear in mind. Thunderous Assault is great damage output for that 1 energy attachment. Still, you know, it's just a really, really strong card, right? And Aerodactyl is the thing that we move into now instead of the Ultra Beasts. And Aerodactyl, for those who need reminding, has 2 attacks. Confusion just for 1 attachment is meh. I guess if you miss the triple acceleration energy, you can go for this. But Fossil Fangs is the big selling point here. For 3 colors, you do 90. If you have no GXs or EXs, 90 more damage. So 180 baseline is reasonable for knocking out Lele's and Dedenes and stuff like that. But also with Band and Shrine, you can move into some stage 1 GX knockouts and some 190 hit point Pokemon as well with those Shrines. So really, really powerful attack, and it's just stable damage output, which we really like. So the Aerodactyl, I feel like, is a reasonable partner to go alongside the Zapdos to see us through the sort of mid to late game, rather than relying on these Ultra Beasts, where it's sort of the ball's in your opponent's court to see how powerful those Ultra Beasts are, and they can sort of play around them at times. This is a different sort of look on the archetype. From there, onto the items, we're going to play 2 copies of Energy Loto. This is going to help us dig out more acceleration energy, so we can chain our attacks with Fossil Fangs, which I think is a really good deal. Also, we have a fairly low count of lightning energy in here, just 5 lightnings. So the Lottos and the Volkners are here to try and make it more stable, that we can get Zapdos pressure early. So it's a nice card on turn 1 if you're looking to do Zapdos pressure, and it's a nice card in the mid-game when you're looking to find more triple accelerations, because there'll be a point where that's all you need to do, just cycle your Aerodactyls and you'll end up winning the game. That's the idea. Couple copies of Rescue Stretcher, again, recycling Zapdos, Zebstrika, and Aerodactyl, obviously a great deal for us. Onto the switching cards, we're going to play 2 copies of Switch. I'm currently not playing Escape Rope, which is a small thing that I want to have in the deck, maybe like a 61st card type situation, but I still think 2 Switch and 3 board is a reasonable package to supplement this Jirachi. Not quite as sturdy and stable as like a full Zapdos Beast build. We've had to make space for the likes of Lotto and Unidentified Fossils and stuff, so not quite as many switching cards as you would potentially like in this deck, but I still think 2 Switch, 3 board, and 4 Guzma is plenty a lot of the time. Then we're going to have the Ball Searcher for Nest. Obviously, it's a big deal to get into more Jirachis, find your Zapdos early for pressure, as well as developing those Blitzles. 3 Ultra Balls are a pretty big deal as well, helping us get into Zebstrikas and Aerodactyls, also helping us thin the deck out of other stuff when we need to, just because we'll have some dead weight in certain matchups. 4 Unidentified Fossil is effectively our like 4 basics for the Aerodactyl, which is mandatory to play. And of course we have Bills and Stellar Wish to try and dig these out, which is fantastic. Couple copies of Shrine. I initially was going Stadiumless in this archetype, but there are a couple of annoying Prism Star Stadium cards. There's Whimsicott and Gardevoir Sylveon, sometimes playing the very pesky Wondrous Labyrinth. There's a lot of fire decks running Heat Factory, so I think it's really important to have a counter stadium right now. So Shrine of Punishment is the obvious go-to when you're an all non-GX based build. We can take full advantage of this, so I think that's very, very reasonable. Onto the support account, it's kind of similar to previous Zapdos builds with the 4 Guzma and the 4 Cynthia. Currently we're playing no Lily. That's normally where you would see Cynthia, but I think it's more important to have stuff like Bills on turn 1 than a Lily, because Bills is going to help you get into unidentified fossils more often. So I like the couple copies of Bill in here, and I also like the couple copies of Volkner. Again, trying to supplement the low physical energy cards we have in the deck by giving ourselves better outs with the Volkner and Lotto to get Zapdos pressure rolling. So you could consider dropping Cynthia a little bit lower to fit in some Lilies for those turn 1 supporter options, but I think already Volkner and Bills are good turn 1 options for this archetype, more so than in like regular Zapdos. And Cynthia's more sort of reasonable in the mid-game. So at the moment, I'm going Lilyless. It's one of those things where I was like, do I want to play like 2 Lily, 2 Cynthia? And then it all feels kind of weird. So at the moment, I'm just going for the safe 4 Cynthia count, but play around with Lilies if you really do feel like that's going to be powerful for you. Couple of bans definitely helps Aerodactyl push on the likes of Zoroarks and other stage 1s. So that's obviously fantastic. And 3 escape boards to help move out of our Jirachis and Blitzles, which is obviously a great deal for us. And then we have the 4 triple acceleration energy. Obviously, it's mandatory for our Aerodactyl, as well as 5 lightning. It's on the low side, but I think it's plenty to see us through with Zapdos pressure alongside these Volkners and Lottos. At some points, I've thought about having the Dance of the Ancients Tapu Koko in here as well. It means that we can sort of recycle these lightnings, but that would kind of make us want to also play DCEs to make the Aerodactyl a lot more sturdy. But overall, I prefer the Energy Lotos to just dig out these boosts. They're just so much more powerful that way. So I think Lotto is a better choice overall than playing Dance of the Ancients Koko. And I think outside of that, there's not too much else I would play around with. Like I say, things like Lily, Escape Rope, other cards that you just know is reasonable in Zapdos, you can definitely have a tinker with that. There's also, of course, the Excavation map that you could consider. But at the moment, I think 4-4 Aerodactyl's fine. We have the pressure of Zapdos to see us through the game. I don't think we'll be running out of attackers all that much. So I think right now, this is the build that I want to be testing out. I'll just save it just to make sure, because I have been tinkering around. I've sort of been having a game, making changes, having a game, making changes, having a game, making changes. And now I'm at a point where I think, yeah, this deck is fine. I think this is pretty reasonable. I mean, you just stick a Zapdos shell with a new beatstick, and that's never going to be all that bad, right? So we'll see how it goes, and we'll get into the ladder and get some games. I think it's very, very cool having this backup fossil beatstick compared to Ultra Beasts. I think Ultra Beast Zapdos is obviously going to continue to be strong, but I think having this big swing from a stage 1 is also a very cool thing to explore, and obviously trying to weave in Aerodactyl into a deck that's already playing for Jirachi has kind of made sense just to go down the Zapdos line. I initially had some like DCEs and Dance of the Ancients in here, like previous like full-on Aerodactyl builds, but I feel like it's pretty much fine just to have the boost energy on power spike turns. That's kind of my mentality with the archetype these days. So we get to go first, which is always nice, and we kick off with our ideal lead. We have 9 basics, and 4 of them are Jirachis, which is obviously very good for us. I think we're starting off with a Stellar Wish here. I think it's stronger than the Ultra Ball. I could also think to go for Volkner. Volkner could just get us Lightning Energy plus Nest Ball or Fossil. So I think I want to Stellar Wish first just to see sort of direct where this Volkner needs to be. Energy Loto isn't giving us too much help here. I'm staring down a Vulpix though, so I think we definitely want to go ahead and grab Nest Ball plus Lightning Energy rather than grabbing an Unidentified Fossil this turn. I feel like we'll be going for early Zapdos pressure and maybe Bills next turn plus Jirachi to try and find ourselves the fossils to get those rolling. We could also have the sort of riskier option of just finding another Jirachi here, sort of boarding, Ultra Balling away the Lotto and maybe Choice Band. Choice Band is a little bit valuable though, just for the risk of getting another fossil down. So I think I just want to play this hand pretty safe. Now it's the question if we want to Ultra Ball away, Switch Lotto for another Jirachi. It could also be Aerodactyl that gets discarded here. Aerodactyl Lotto for another Jirachi. Yeah, I think I don't mind it at all. Looking for, again, fossils. A Cynthia wouldn't be bad at this point. And Nest Balls are still fine, obviously. Developing a Blitzle never hurts. Fossil or Cynthia? What's our turn 2 play? Our turn 2 play is always basically Thunderous Assault. So I think we can grab a Fossil here to try and get into some more progressive attackers. I think the Bills is more than likely alongside 2 Stellar Wishes potentially to get us into a Cynthia if we need to, or a Guzma as well. So I think it's a reasonable turn 1. Basically just Zapdos things to kick things off. But if we start seeing, maybe like this is a Blastoise deck potentially if they're playing Beacon. Okay, they're just going to concede. They didn't have much. Okay, well Zapdos pressure is still good. That's all we've learned so far. But it's also good to sort of explore those turn 1 hands and see how we have to play them, because there's always the sort of Stellar Wish sequencing that you always have to consider about what we're trying to hit and what we can't hit. Shout out to my shorts and sandals on my new avatar, by the way. Let's try and get a longer game this time. Looks like we're up against a lightning deck of some sort. It might be a Pika Rom. It might be a fellow Zapdos archetype. Zapdos mirrors can be a little bit awkward. We do have lightning weakness. I'm just going to fill this bench, dude. This bench is sick. We have lightning weakness on the Aerodactyl, which is only really relevant against the Jolteon GX, but still something to bear in mind. I see Judge. Zapdos isn't really known for playing Judge, but neither's Pikarom, to be honest. But they have Acerola, so they're more likely a Pikarom deck, I would say. Acerola is definitely something we have to be on the lookout for. That's a scary card to deal with. Because we're normally trying to set up the Pikarom and then knock them out later. Ah, here's an Eevee. Scary times. We don't like seeing Eevees. They're going to attach to Eevee turn 1 as well and evolve it up. We are able to knock out Jolteon in 1 hit, though, with Aerodactyl, with the help of a Choice Band, so that's not too bad for us. They're going to Choice Band their Jolteon, and they're going to play a Lily here. So again, it's that sort of up-trade situation that we can get with this Aerodactyl, which is very, very cool to bear in mind. I'm going to start with Stellar Wish here. I don't think I want to play this Nest Ball. I want to keep these spaces open for fossils because it is very good at knocking out the Jolteon in 1 hit. So I think we just Stellar Wish to kick things off here. We don't play any Electro Powers, so knocking out Zapdos is not possible unless it's with an Aerodactyl. So it looks like I'm just going to be doing this, playing the Cynthia here. Notably holding on to Nest Ball because I think it's still reasonable to get into more Zapdos when we can. I think Shrine Switch is fine. Make them... I mean, they haven't had any Stellar Wishes yet. We've only seen an Acerola. Acerola is normally a low count. So I think we're just going to switch and attack here. Hit them for the 90 with the Shrine. And sort of send it their way to see if they can deal with this. Obviously, they can quite easily deal with a Zapdos if they wish to Electro Power, Electro Bullet through us. We don't mind it too much, though, because we're already holding on to Acceleration Energy Volkner, which can get us into Ultra Ball for a knockout. They might alternatively be going for a Zapdos easy prize on like a Jirachi or Blitzle or something like that. But seeing Electro Power, well, that means they could still go for either. Going to see the Lily for a couple cards. Now the Eevee comes down, so it looks like it's a heavy Jolteon build. Which isn't too bad for us, really. So putting 30 damage onto an unidentified fossil means that they only need one Electro Power to knock us out with the Zapdos, and only one Electro Power to knock us out with a future Jolteon. So I'm very tempted to go into the other fossil and just discard this one. The benefits of a Stellar Wish. I mean, Volkner can always get us into a Escape Board if we need to. But we kind of need the Volkner to guarantee us an Ultra Ball right now. Let's think about this. What am I Volknering for? Volkner for Energy, Ultra Ball, then we Ultra Ball away. Lotto Energy, just for Aerodactyl for knockout. But then we're kind of relying on our top deck and our 2 prize cards to get us further in the game. I don't hate it, though. I think it's reasonable. See what the top deck brings. Brings us another Lightning Energy. I'm going to Lotto quickly. I know the Lotto could whiff. If the Lotto whiffs, we're in bad shape, so we have to Volkner just out the gate. Grab ourselves... Oh, I could also get Stretcher, couldn't I? No. Ultra Ball Energy. The energies really aren't all that great for us, so we'll just pitch them. We'll grab an Aerodactyl. We'll attach our triple acceleration energy. And here we're saying, can they get double Electro Power to take a knockout with Electro Bullet? That's the only thing we're most scared of. We're not too worried if they have to go for a Head Bolt or a Swift Run on their next Jolteon. That would be fine. So I think we're just saying if you have double Electro Power, we're in trouble. They haven't had a single Stellar Wish just yet. And I think keeping this fossil around is important. So I think we're just going to swing here. Small risk that we're taking, but our hand doesn't really get us very far. Cynthia and Fossil off prizes is as good as it gets, really. So yeah, it's just the concern of double Electro Power energy. That's the thing we're most afraid of here. They can take a double knockout, and that's all of our threats off the board. Gonna see a Guzma though, so that's pretty good for us. Guzma is absolutely fine for us. I mean, getting rid of a Stellar Wish is a little awkward, but we'll take this overall. Especially if we can Lotto into a triple acceleration here. That would be the dream. There we go. Very good. I think we can also happily commit a Choice Band. No, I should... we'll Choice Band this one. Put this here. There's Cynthia. Still no Zebstrika is a little bit awkward, but we're holding on to Ultra Ball boost now. I feel like putting another Jirachi down is fine. Do I discard this fossil is the next question. I think I'm discarding this one. Just to deny that easy prize. And we're 3 prizes away. We've gone ahead in the prize race, and it looks like their next attacker is going to have to be a GX. Currently, we have no answer to a Swift Run, so if they're able to get their Thunder Mountain, it might be a little bit awkward. Other than that, though, we're feeling pretty okay about this. They're going to Field Blower. It's a little awkward because we kind of need that Choice Band. We have one more in deck. So they're going to have to try and Cynthia into Thunder Mountain. The deck is still pretty thick. Or they have to get into double Electro Power, which is also pretty difficult. Energy Recycle System. Gets them back an energy card, but not too much of a problem, I don't think. Just an Electro Bullet isn't too shabby for us. So So we've got some Ultra Balls to play here. We'll try and sprint for our Choice Band, I think, is the play. Because it's such a blowout if we get it. Is it worth getting rid of double board here? I think it is, you know, just for double sprint. All hail Zebstrika. What a card. And let's gallop. Ah. Another acceleration energy is a little bit awkward. It's our last acceleration energy. So we probably can't go for this. I think just the Shrine, putting him to 190 and forcing the Counter Stadium is the best we can do here. We can't get rid of another acceleration energy. It's still awkward. So we'll put them in the awkward spot of having to find Thunder Mountain this turn. There's an Electro Power now. And an Energy. Also going to go for a Ninetales. They've already played Field Blower. They've already played 2 Field Blowers, so maybe it's all going to be okay. They're just going to grab more Electro Powers. But that doesn't stop us knocking them out next turn. They're just burning more Electro Powers. I don't really see why, but sure. They are able to get a double knockout here. How many fossils are gone? That's 3 fossils gone now. So closing this game isn't all that routine. Even though it's only 1 prize to go. Stretcher helps. Yeah, they're just going to concede. Okay. I think spread is one of the things you're most worried about because our fossils can get taken out in multiple times. We discarded 1 that game and also 1 got sniped, right? In matchups where they're not spreading, it's a lot less of a worry. And also we chose to go for the second sprint over the second Aerodactyl as well, which may have been a little bit greedy. Obviously we got punished by finding our 1 remaining triple acceleration energy, which made it look worse. But had we had missed the triple acceleration, the double sprint would have been excellent. But we got away with 1 there. This hand is awful though. Wow. Just a Blitzle. No ball search, no Jirachi, no supporter. Feels bad, man. Looks like we're up against a Lost March archetype. Lost March is a non-GX deck, which might be a little bit awkward for us because it's going to force us to try and chain our Zapdos and chain our Aerodactyls, so they're going to keep us honest every turn. But hopefully posing that 110 hit point threat on turn 2, if we can, is going to be good enough for us. That's the plan. Lucky for us, we don't need Electro Powers either. There's a Jirachi, which is excellent. We can try and Stellar Wish our way out of this mess. Just the Guzma isn't getting us out of this mess, so we're going to have to attach the Zebstrika to go for a Headbolt turn 2 for a knockout. We have no choice. I think I will also put Shrine into play, just because it's irrelevant for us. It plays around Let Loose, and if they play Shrines, we're denying them playing it as well. They're unlikely to play any stadium that's relevant to us, so it's fine. They're going to go ahead and Great Ball for an Emolga. Drumbeat comes down. I see a Grass Energy to a Hoppip. Just to retreat. And a Lily for 3. Oh, sorry, for 5. Two Hoppips on the board. Guzmaing that is going to be a good option for us next turn, of course. Slight concern if we have to sprint away a Stretcher, so I'm hoping the Stellar Wish means that we don't have to do that. They're actually going to Blender away a Marshadow. Interesting. Choosing not to let loose. Stellar Wish for Unidentified Fossil. I gotta think we gotta sprint this, right, guys? Sprinting away Stretcher's really awkward. But at least we're getting an attack in with a Zebstrika. I think that's the only thing that actually matters. We actually have a weakness. We could actually Zap Kick here instead. If we don't want to sprint. But we do want to sprint. We want the higher hit points as well. Because they only have 3. And even if they get the Skip Bloom, they still require one more thing. So it's definitely correct to sprint at this stage. There we go. That's the good stuff. And we'll head Bolt. There's a legitimate chance that we survive a hit here. They have to find Skip Bloom, Energy, and either a Trumbeak or a Lost Blender, something like that. If we do survive, we'll be counting our lucky stars, but... if we do get knocked out, our hand is a little bit weak. No draw supporter still. We'll be reliant on a Stellar-Wish. So, there's 100 damage coming down. Erica's for 5 should help them get there for sure. Unlikely that they miss a Trumbeak at this stage. Yeah, they're going to calm away a Hoppip just to do so by the looks of things. Oh, they're going for a Natu. Maybe they already have the damage. Or maybe they missed Grass Energy and this is the only thing they can attack with. Did they really just miss? I think we go for a Nuzzly Gathering. Ah, and now they have the Pokecom. There you go. There it is. Nice, nice. So we have got rid of 3 of our 5 lightning energies, which is a little bit of a worry as well. A lot of worries right now. Non-Jax matchups are definitely a bit of a worry. We're hoping to get big triple acceleration up trades. So far, hasn't happened yet. If Stellar-Wish can get us into a Volkner, that would be magical. It would be Energy Board, and we would just be able to take a nice, easy knockout. We have our top deck as well, obviously. They're taking their time, taking a prize card, but it's all okay. They're really taking their time, taking a prize card. They're doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo. By the looks of things. Come on. You've got one action to make. There we go. Prize has been taken. Oh. We're the best. Lotto is so tempting. I think we take the Lotto. If we hit off the Lotto, we can just play the Guzma and sprint. Okay, so we have 1 lightning energy prized as well. I was thinking of getting the second Zapdos out, but with 1 lightning energy in the prize cards, it's less appealing. Oh, nice. We hit our 1 lightning instead of our 4 accelerations. Okay, they just conceded. Sure. Sure. That's fine. I mean, we still had the 4 acceleration energies, the 1 prize that turn, so it would have meant that we had to find an acceleration energy every turn or get our lightning energy off prize cards at one moment, but essentially it's the same as a Zapdos matchup versus Lost March, and why Zapdos has basically pushed Lost March out the format alongside Ultra Necrozma, but not too much difference there. So far, we've basically won via early Zapdos pressure both games, so Zapdos still a good card in the Unbroken Bonds format confirmed. We haven't done much with that Aerodactyl, but we have used it a couple times against that Jolteon. Some big swings. Starting with the Zapdos is our least favourite lead. We only play 2 of them to try and make it less likely. But hey ho, we've got a couple Nest Balls and a Cynthia, so we can't be too sad. Going second, we see a Ditto and a Water Energy. We might be up against a Nagum and Quagum and Tagum and Ragum and all that good stuff. Aerodactyl can actually knock out a Volk Prism in 1 hit, which is actually a really big deal in this matchup because Volk Prism otherwise can like run riot on our 110 hit point. Well, sorry, like our Aerodactyls have 130 hit points as well, so that's also pretty good. If we were playing Electro Powers, we could take the win this turn. We actually could still have taken the win if we had had enough Switch cards, but we don't. So we'll just do this. I think they're unlikely to play Judge. Sometimes it's a one-of. They're unlikely to play Blur as well, though, so we'll put this here. And we'll just Thunderous Assault for 10. The good news is there's currently no Water Pokemon on their bench, no Water Energy in the discard pile, and no Poipoles in play, so it's unlikely that they could do anything. And again, it's another concession. Okay. Apparently the Zapdos pressure for 10 damage is also too much for people in Unbroken Bonds. Just Nagaquag things, I guess. Give me that Cocoa for free. We're on to... Oh, we can get a full art Volkner as well. Poggers. Let's go. So we're streaking with Aerodactyl. Not so much the Aerodactyl, but just Zapdos doing the stuff. More lightning decks. We haven't seen a single fire deck yet. I want to see some Reshizards, man. Where are they at? Too difficult to trade for, I guess, online at the moment. Okay. One mulligan. Ah, the Jirachi. Very good. And we already have a fossil. So this Stellar Wish wants to try and find ourselves a Cynthia or a Bills. But for turn 1, we pretty much already got everything we wanted. One of these, one of these, one of these in the active. We're doing good. Ah, it's a Pikarom. And we drew a Cynthia. Everything's looking perfect here. Stellar Wish. This is great. We'll put this down. Oh, I already had an Escape Board. It should have been Choice Band. Oh well. It should have been Choice Band. My bad. Okay. Blitzle, Fossil, Nest Ball for another Jirachi, and Stellar Wish seems like the route here. If we could get a Shrine going, that would be great. Or a Lotto would also be fine. I think we take the Choice Band at this juncture, though. I like it. We'll take Band. Guzma was the other option, but we currently don't have energy or means to energy. Ultra Ball was also potentially reasonable. Ultra Ball away Cynthia and like top deck to find ourselves a Zebstrika early. All reasonable targets. Maybe Ultra Ball was best actually there. Yeah, Choice Band's not actually super great. I mean, I was thinking about potential Zera Aura knockouts, but that's super later down the line. Oh well. We'll figure it all out. It'll be fine. It's going to work. We're chilling. They get Energy Band, Jirachi, free retreat into their own Stellar Wish here. Oh man, I wish I took the Ultra Ball now over this. Oh well, it's all going to work out, trust me. We have a high amount of playable cards and a big Cynthia for 6, plus 2 Stellar Wishes potentially, so it's all going to be fine. We can hit a Lightning Energy, right? That's all we need. So our prizes are already mapped out for us. Volkner is guaranteed energy switch card, which is excellent, so we'll be playing that this turn. We'll Stellar Wish and find Shrine to get things working as well, which also sounds great. think I'll literally play the Switch card so I can get an extra Stellar Wish in here. Actually, it's our only Switch. I'll save that and just grab a board. There's not much else we need this turn, so we'll do this. Do this. Retreat. Play this. Hold the rest in our hand. I know it's a little bit fragile to Marshadow, but we're also playing around Guzma at this point. Switch from the prizes isn't too shabby, and getting some damage in is always great. Can I see Nest Ball? Is it time for their own Zapdos? Yes, it is. They're just going to Guzma Blitzle. Something of the sort. We'll see. They're going to Volkner, actually. Maybe for Energy Electro Power. I don't know. Maybe they start full blitzing this turn. Volkner can give them so many options. Still no Lightning Energy in their discard pile, though, which is good for us. So, who knows? We'll see. Just Nest Ball Energy. That might be a telltale sign that we're going to see a Tapu Koko dancing around in a moment. Well, it's going to be a Jirachi. Okay. Wow, they just passed in the active. That's insane. Okay, well, an Aerodactyl off the top's giving us an easy choice here of what we're doing. We shall, Cynthia. We get into an Acceleration Energy, which is magical. We can also, I mean, we're already holding on to double Guzma, so I guess Cynthia's the pick. Shrine damage doing good stuff, so we can put it here. Also with the option to Gallop if we want to. Don't think we necessarily have to Gallop though. This will go into 210 range as well for this guy later down the line as well, so everything's looking fabulous right now. Fossil Fangs doing the business. 2 more prizes for us, and Energy Loto is a great pickup as well. It's all looking great. We're doing it. We're doing it, boys. Aerodactyl, getting it done. Who needs to accumulate Electro Powers when you can just find one Acceleration Energy? Easy clap. Easy clap. Aerodactyl Zapdos. Who knew? See Stellar Wish for Volkner again. Volkner isn't Guzma, so that's good for us because we are already holding on to Lotto, Choice Band, Aerodactyl on the bench. We have Stellar Wish, Sprint, and Cynthia to get us into what's it called? Acceleration Energy. So we can literally win next turn. They're all in, which makes sense. Ah, okay. That was a good game. Well played. Nice. So, that's Zapdos Aerodactyl. We had a couple of concessions early. Zapdos Pressure does that. But we were able to beat 2 other Lightning decks, which was cool. I was kind of concerned about the Jolteon for a little bit there. We were just about able to get over the line, but we were able to demolish the Pikaron. Fossil Fangs doing the business. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this archetype. Aerodactyl is really cool. How else would you like to build Aerodactyl as well? Is Zapdos the best package? Probably yes. But maybe there are some other ways to play Aerodactyl. What other triple acceleration cards are you excited to test out? I'll hear it all down below. And that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And we'll be back with a new Unbroken Bonds deck tomorrow. Cheers.